Hi, my name is Clara. I am an executive coach that works with CEOs and CMOs, and I own a growth marketing and website development agency called Hypergrow. This is the video that I tell you a little bit about who I am and what I do and all of that kind of fun stuff. And I'm excited. Honestly, I've had a wild journey, as I'm sure you have too. Like all of us have this beautiful art that we call life, right? And here's mine. So when I was 14, yes, we're going back that far. So I need you to stay with me. I promise it's relevant. When I was 14, I was scouted to be a model from myspace.com. And I moved from the mountains of Virginia, growing up on a dirt road situation, to then being in New York Magazine and walking the runways of YSL and Armani and modeling in Paris and Milan and Tokyo and Singapore and New York City. And I lived in New York City for most of my life. It was a hell of a wild ride, and I found myself with the marketing department a lot. So it was pretty natural that when I aged out of modeling in my young 20s, as was the time, and then I went into marketing consulting. I couldn't afford business school at the time, and I didn't really know if marketing was right for me. And so I wanted to roll up my sleeves and really learn by doing. And so I got really deep into the New York City tech scene and became a non-technical co-founder for a number of businesses as a contractor and consultant. And so I would go into these businesses and help them flesh out their early stage marketing plan, product market fit, branding, logos, color schemes, art directions, all kinds of stuff. And with my dense network of very good creatives, photographers, makeup artists, models, etc., it was pretty easy to do in those creative contexts. And through School of Hard Knocks and studying relentlessly, I would be in like 6 different courses via Coursera online at the same time, and MIT online, and all this other stuff. Any free college that I could get my hands on, I would be consuming during the morning, nights, and then the afternoons. I would go out and network and go to all these networking events, and then try to apply a lot of the learnings that I was finding through these courses and online reading into my client work as well. And so it was definitely a time of fuck around and find out, if I'm really real. During this time, I built a bit of a Twitter following. I would just retweet a lot of things that I was learning, and it was catching on like crazy. People were like, wow, Clara is really a thought leader in this space, and she must know so much about marketing because look at all these people that she's following. And I was getting DMs from some of my friends that I had made when I was modeling. And so they were like CMOs of big brands and stuff, or like marketing directors of big brands. And they were reaching out to me on Twitter saying, hey, this information that you're tweeting is crazy. Like, it's so good. I was like, oh my God, thanks. I'm just trying to learn the future of marketing so that I'm not learning outdated information, right? So what was very normal for me was exemplary for others. And I benefited a lot from that. And was very taken aback when people started reaching out to me for speaking opportunities. So I started teaching workshops and speaking at conferences. I mentored a Techstars accelerator. I think I was 2 or 3 years into my career at that point. Like I felt very, very green, but I was accepting these opportunities that I was feeling mad imposter syndrome about, probably for valid reasons. But I wanted to do my best, and I wanted to use it as an opportunity to learn and push myself and see what I could do. And it started building. I hosted an episode of Startup Grind in the local community. I won a random event called Strategy Hack. Hold on, I have a trophy. So I won this like little trophy from an event called Strategy Hack, where they bring a lot of marketers together, and then you work on early stage businesses to build out marketing plans and diagnose their marketing issues and help them grow their business. And I won the competition. And it was moments like this where I was like, oh, wait, maybe I am good at my job. Like maybe I can do this, right? Even though I had a dozen or so clients by that point. And then I got an opportunity to work with the ambassador in Bern, Switzerland. They flew me out to Switzerland to judge Europe's largest hackathon and give a keynote on user adoption for emerging technologies. And I stretched myself, in my opinion, there a bit too far and tried to combine a bunch of concepts and things to just really be this person who was like on the cutting edge of marketing. And my delivery wasn't 100%. And that was maybe the first time that I felt that I flopped a little bit during that event. But then the next day, I had a second keynote at the hackathon instead of the digital conference. And, well over 1,000 participants all hacking together their early stage startup ideas. And my keynote went fabulously. I was able to give something so empathetic and so intelligent and so wonderful that it made up for the previous experience and made me go home feeling like I was back on track, Then from there, I started guest teaching at universities, mentoring other accelerator programs, working with the cities of New York City and Montreal, and having all of this really great work. And all of that was donating my time, which is something that I still do to this day and really love and enjoy, because we all remember when we had a dream and we went for it. Even if you've never launched a business before, you know of a hobby or a project that you've done where you just said, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And there's a certain magic there. There's a certain beauty and passion and love pours out of you in that moment. I want to nurture that. I care about that a lot. And I think that's why I've continued to this day working with executives and working with entrepreneurs, working with C-suite individuals, because you're ambitious, you're thirsty, you have dreams and visions of the ways things could be, and you have the tenacity and the audacity to chase after it. And I love that. I think it's beautiful, because I'm like that too. And I see camaraderie there. But I guess that leads into it. After a while, I started working with mid-stage businesses more. Startups are great, and I had a couple of successes, and I had a lot of equity offered to me over the years and stuff as well. None of which I necessarily took. It just wasn't a fit at the time. But nowadays, I work with mid-stage businesses, usually doing between $2 and $50 million. It's a pretty big gap there. But especially for e-com, 50 million isn't like a big reach, right? Yeah, I work with mid-stage businesses. I work with them on digital transformation, executive coaching, website builds, digital growth strategy, things like that. I own an agency called Hypergrow, which is the current embodiment of all of the body of work that I described previous, and what it has accumulated to over time. And the executive coaching is somewhat new, as I found that was something I was just doing with my clients. It was a free service that I was adding on. And I realized over time that executives put a lot of faith in me. And I really respect that and really love that. And I wanted to create a more official capacity for it to exist with more purpose. And so that's what I'm focused on currently. I hope this channel can provide you resources and inspiration. If you're someone that grew up on a dirt road in the middle of the backlands of America, and you want to have a career that is as exciting and full of twists and turns as what I just described, know it's within your reach. And if you're launching a business and get something out of my content, I love that for you. And most specifically, if you are my target audience, CEOs and CMOs of mid-stage businesses, I hope that we can not only work together, but I hope that you do find insight in my content and wisdom. I hope that whenever you find yourself at a crossroads and you're berated with information and you're not quite sure what to prioritize or not quite sure what item to pick first, I hope my content can provide some clarity. You can find me via my website, hypergrow.io. Link below. Hope to see you, and I hope for your success. See you.